Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome here to the Sochi Autodrome in Russia for round 5, season 5 already, tier 1. Of course, as you can see, a couple of cars going out, being qualifying, just a little over 16.5 minutes to go. Of course, as always, I'm not alone, joined by my fellow commentator. Some people say he once did a trip from Pietermaritzburg to Joburg in 3.5 hours. On a bicycle. Others say he can actually outrun a Boeing 747 at takeoff speed. All I know is he's called SpringbokGamer.
Yeah, Captain Ice. Looking forward to Russia. Some oaks love it, some oaks hate it. To me, a track that always produces action. Looks like the weather is holding up for qualies. Not sure about the race yet, but I think we're in for another cracker. If it's anything like last week, hold on to your seats.
Oh, and last week was one of the races. It was look, as commentator, you actually have a couple of races that you like to commentate, and that definitely goes into my book as one of those all-time favorites. It was a race full of action. There was no dull moments. It gave us a lot to comment on.
Yeah, Mackett going strong, laying a claim for this season, sitting high and mighty on top, 85 points. Followed closely by Maurice, 53. Noah Raider, after taking a 1 week leave from the game, got the itch back and he's into the Haas vacated seat, so look out for the Haas coming back strongly with Noah Raider. "15 minutes to go, see only a couple of outlaps. No times yet.
Of course, yeah, short quali. You get out there as soon as possible.
Yeah, try and get 2, maybe even 3 stints in if you can. Not sure about the tires and if you use all 3 those softs up. If it's gonna bite you in the race, never actually received definitive feedback on how these tires work during race time. All I know is it's supposed to be your fastest one goes through, but in short quali doesn't work like that, so no idea.
In short quali, it is the tire you're going to short quali pretty much is like Q1, Q2 and Q3 together. So the tire that you post your fastest time on is the tire you're going to start on, but of course the person that's the fastest still get pole position. So you can still say from a technical point of view it's still quali 2 really, but of course we will just know who's on pole position. That's the only real difference there. But so you can do the shorter qualifying, especially if the guys are all for it.
Look, it's a decision we made. It's much more action-packed, more less time. Oakie's playing games and sandbagging and sand-sacking and this and that thing. It all comes down to this 15 minutes.
Alonso 132.9. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Yeah, that's rapid.
And as I say, Mackett eats it. Mackett breaks into the 131s.
Yeah, that's an extraordinary time that I can tell you.
That's like a whole second. And it's still early days. And Dookster retires. It's
gonna take a lot of doing. Oh, and Dookster crashing out.
Oh, he actually just said he's going to retire. He's not going to worry any further. He wants to start on those mediums and he don't want to take out any more life of it. Maybe it's all part of a strategy. We'll have to wait and see.
Could be, but look, this track's not hard on tires, so
that's the thing.
Not sure why you would want to stretch your mediums that extra lap or 2.
Of course, you just want to go as long as possible. Make up a couple of positions. Of course, bargaining maybe on a safety car, guys tripping over each other, so anything is possible. But as you say, it's a bit of a strange strategy. Oh wow, and Maurice actually went faster than Mackett, but not by much, 400. So very close at the front.
Yeah, that's really very, very fast those times.
It's still early days, but already, if judging on this, looks like we're in for another treat again. Couple of guys win the 135s, but looking at the times already and looking at last week, because last week were top 10, how close they were from 1 to 10. You're going to see the high 131s, low 132s all the way to the to 10th place.
Yeah, look, there's really a quality field here.
Quinton
as we
has done
speak,
the same.
Quinton also.
Yeah, it looks like exactly the same idea as Duke's did, because he was also on medium tires. Unless they know something we don't.
Yes. Maybe there's something at play that we don't know about, so...
Because that's quite early. There's still another 11 minutes to go and all to go for. But then again, looking at previous seasons and of course also other leagues, Quinton has managed to do something like this and actually used the mediums to his advantage. Of course, championship contender last season at TNB, and one pulled often to go start the race on mediums.
Yeah. Maybe I mean you only have that one set of medium to qualify on, and if you've already set your time and everyone else is on a soft, you're not really gonna get much better.
Ranger Trevette actually goes completely different. He's on hard.
Yeah, I can tell you, I went on hard yesterday, SAOLR league.
Oh wow, what a long time. Hello, Daniel, Mr. War Machine.
I can tell you, those hearts were horrible. I were on them yesterday evening. Had a little incident. I had to go and pit early and fought fitting those hearts, but hey, they were...
No, he's definitely on hearts. I was actually driving just on him here, but he's driving into the pits, but it's definitely white walls. It's not like some schematic might be wrong or something like that. Nice to hear from Dan. Been a while. Of course, you also watch the streams when we stream Thursday Night Racing to this channel as well.
One of your keen followers.
Hey, he doesn't matter if it's Thursday Night Racing or if it's Tuesday night F1. Daniel always pop in when he's available.
Yeah, look, it's...
Oh, and there's the crazy dog now, the crazy wannabe cow dog. You come moo at us, but he doesn't tell us whatsoever like. Staffy, you're losing your touch. I'm taking away all the compliments of last week. And he actually responds, race, sun, cloudy, cloudy.
Oh, so we're in for a cracker. No
Thanks,
worries about the weather. Should be a simple one-stopper. I mean, all these 50% is nothing different. I'm not aware of any of them that's actually a two-stopper, but simple, soft, medium, soft. Just don't understand Ranger on those odds.
Yeah, because I mean, you can push these mediums because you can actually get a lot of laps out of mediums, and they're still much faster than the hards, of course. And as you said earlier, this is a track that's not hard on tires, so if you have a left track, you can actually push it even more. Ooh, and now Connor Young with the invalidated lap, pretty much continuing where he left off last week.
Yeah, I know he's back on the controller. Looks like he's moving around, no space to set up his rig, which he fixed eventually. Had to take it all apart, get the crap out of those pedals, and now he's in a space where he can't set up the wheel properly. So back on a controller, let's hope he's got some pace going.
And of course, coming back from the wheel to the controller is not easy, because you dialed into that wheel and you're so used to it. But I guess on the same time as well, if you go from a controller back to a wheel, it also takes time to adjust again, because you get so used to the one that you're on.
Yeah, look, some oaks are quite quick to be able to adjust, but most aren't. And as I say that, Noir Raider No, it's Connor Young. Connor Young actually takes a spin.
And there goes
Places that
Mackett.
outside tires on the curbs. You know those curbs that's made of soap.
Just want to say,
Makes
Mackett
it
actually
360.
went faster than Maurice. A 1:31.6 now.
Yeah,
And
682.
Maurice had a purple first sector. He is out on a hot lap, approaching the split now. And it's a purple second sector as well. So Maurice definitely on a fast one as well. Quinton Dede actually now in the 132s, low 132s, so he's not far off these two. Maurice now coming around the last couple of corners, taking enough curb there. Stay wide, nice inside line, start finish line, and he does go faster, 1:31.4. So far it's only him and Mackett that's actually in the 1:31s, and these two are actually trading fastest lap. So just under 6 minutes to go. Are both of them perhaps going to have another go at it? Of course, Maurice have a teammate tonight. Of course, going back to the first race or so from the season. Nice to see the Pink Boys back side by side.
Yeah. And don't forget about the P3, Quinton Zede. That's definitely his highest qualification this season so far. If he can keep it together, keep his nose clean, get through that first corner unscathed, he could really be challenging. I think in race 3 he was also challenging and then had some mishaps in China. Noah Raider stuck down in 5th spot. Sure, he wants to better that 32-300.
Looks like Ranger Trevette has changed his tyres, but he's still in the pit.
Yeah, maybe he's heard a little Tweety bird in his ear. Those hearts, yeah, just wouldn't know in a 100% race. Maybe something different, but 50% just didn't make any sense to me.
Narrator back in the pits, of course, also invalidated lap. So it was just worth it coming back in, and maybe if he's still lifeguard again, or put on a new set of boots and just have one good go at it again. If you go 2 laps, comes around, here's Maurice's teammate, not Kimi, and he improves, goes 4 for 1:32.1.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that second row. Sometimes the best spot to just be that one little car length behind the leaders, and all the carnage happens behind you.
Ooh, an invalidated lap now from not Kimi, just too much curb there into that first corner. But he anyway backed off. Yeah, there we go.
Couldn't be any ERS left in any case. On board, he's got like a third. So
switch it all off, save up, and then give it one more go. Because there's not going to be enough time coming into the pits and then go out.
Yeah, he won't make it into the pits and back out.
If he wants to go do another lap, you need to stay out, save fuel and stuff, and then give it a go. Because coming into the pits is not enough.
His onboard is rapidly depleting, the ERS. I'm not sure if that's a glitch, but he's basically dropped from a third to almost zilch, showing it's on level 5. I don't know, level 5 while he's idling. Anyway.
No way.
Noah Raider now on an outlap, Connor Young in front of him.
Oh, Connor Young needs some serious time, with 1:44, so he definitely wants to improve on that.
Yeah, that
and
was
currently invalidated lap again. Okay, and an invalidated lap again. So the only valid lap was the one he spun. So you really now need to dig deep and be careful of how much he takes from those corners, because he needs a good lap here.
Yeah, we got a new P3 DKP coming out of nowhere, 1:31.994.
Third guy to eventually break into the 1:31s.
Yeah, he also had a brilliant race yesterday, finished I think P5. So he's really tuned into the track. A lot of the guys drove yesterday evening, and always nice to be able to learn from your mistakes, tire choices, wing settings. all those little tweaks.
And Sniffleizer has joined, and that explains why we haven't seen him on track as yet. Because he's sitting there with no timers yet, just so he rejoined, so obviously some disconnect as well. But of course, talking about those guys driving last night stuff, of course, some of them actually are racing in 3 different leagues. Of course, Friday nights, Monday nights and Tuesday nights.
Yeah, if I look through the field, who can I pick? Not Kimi.
Poinkies?
Vino, Poinkies. Yeah. So there's 3 drivers. That's probably telling me they've had enough of Russia, but experience is experience, and I think they use it very well.
Of course,
so
the
dialed
tracks,
into the track eventually.
Of course, the midweek racing and TNB calendar obviously is exactly the same. The start of the Friday they'll do Russia, and then of course that following Tuesday they'll. So the tracks are exactly the same. So these guys can actually use that to their advantage, see what works and what not, and try something different on the following night. So yeah, like you say, learn from mistakes and stuff. So of course, talk about previous other leagues. Talk about Russia. I mean, Friday night be same track, just 100% race distance. Couple of these guys also in that league. I mean, the likes of Staffy, Quinton, Safwan, Quinton, not Kimi, Poinkies as you mentioned, Vino. We all raced there on Friday night, and wow, what a crazy race that was. I mean, you have one person that actually won the race who actually didn't get the race when ended up all the way in 4th. People out of nowhere actually winning the race and coming and taking places.
Yeah, look, that's one thing, Ice, that tonight is gonna eat. I can put what's left of my April salary on it, but penalties will come into play again tonight in a big way.
Definitely.
So if anything, a guy like Boinkies that keeps it clean is gonna be a major benefactor here. I mean, this track normally is Oaks 19, 25, 27 seconds worth of penalties.
There were massive penalties.
To cut those corners.
That's it.
And some Oaks can't help themselves.
Conor Young did manage to get it into 7th. He did put together a nice lap in the end.
Yeah, that's a nice mid-table start for him.
Still better than being at the back.
Let's hope that just that first corner everyone can.
And he actually improves it. Goes into 5th now, a 132.1.
That first corner is the crucial one. If everyone can just come in at about 80%, give themselves another 10 meter, 15 meters extra break point, that's the crucial one.
Especially those guys on the medium. Last thing you want is that strategy to go down the drain into the first corner.
Yeah, look, Johan, I'm not sure what's the difference starting on mediums, ending on softs, or starting softs, ending
what
mediums.
I'm saying is you want to do a longer first stint, but it's not going to help if you get your wing drove off in the first corner, because then that strategy is all gone. Because then what's the point of playing the long strategy?
Yeah, then you'll have to do a double stop, because the softs won't last you 31 laps if you have to go and pit lap one. So they definitely on at risk, where the soft Oaks, if they get it wrong, they can go and slap on mediums and try and make it to the end, but the soft Oak, the two medium drivers can't do the same thing.
Committed to mediums, you need to be able to have a clean race for it to really pay off. Of course, that is pretty much it. We're just waiting for Ime Alonso to retire.
Yeah, not Kimi's also still circling the track, but yeah, he's classified already.
Checkered flag, so it's just Ime Alonso showing pit.
So Maurice having another pole.
Well, that was what a blinder. 131.4 and Mackert with his 131.6. Not Kimi in the end, a 131.8. And he actually, and then Quinton also broke into the 131, so 131.8 as well.
Yeah,
and we
Maurice and
Dickie.
Mackett.
In the end,
They
we actually
really-
got 5 drivers in the 131s after we initially only had
It's
2.
amazing. Yeah.
So those boys in pink are looking very fast tonight.
Yeah, look, Maurice Mackett also sitting on top of the tier after 4 weekends. So really showing why they're sitting on top. They're just taking that pace onto the next track. Who is going to stop them?
And they
I'm
keep
putting
on
my
battling.
money on Kimi. Kimi coming through in a big way. I'm putting him up for a win.
You can never count that guy out.
I think he's now into the groove. Captain Castle's not by his side.
Just
so
about to
he's
say, Uncle Charles is not there to give a race strategy.
He's a whole different racer. So my money's on him for the win. And then obviously DKP can also sneak onto the podium.
Okay, I'm just catching up on Staff's comments. Staff's comments, as the guys broke into the times and kept on dropping further down. So Staff is just, yeah, just reading his comments for you. Staff is saying Boinky should have won on Friday. Yeah, Staff, he could have. There was literally like one penalty or so, but actually took it away from him. Otherwise, it was his.
Right, all the Oaks have done their strategy, filled up those cars. Probably most added a few extra laps of fuel. There's a camp that underfuels, and then there's most Oaks that overfuels and likes to run it on reach.
That's it. No, so you definitely foresee a couple of penalties here tonight, especially after what we saw on Friday, and that's actually going to make or break. So even if we see a guy in first place, we won't know for sure if he's get the race win, because I mean Friday it looked like a clear win there for Force, but in the end dropped to 4th.
Yeah, amazing.
And it's like nobody was actually exempted. Everybody on the grid got a penalty. Even if it was just one, there was a penalty. So yeah, let's just hope it's not as crazy as it was on Friday. Staff is saying good quality comments and we're ignoring him. Not intentionally, Staff, not intentionally. But yeah, some real exciting stuff, and I mean it's like Friday. If it happens like this, it actually makes the stream also more exciting. It gives you stuff to comment on, and you don't know where to be because it's just so much happening at the same time.
Yeah, interestingly,
four guys on mediums actually in the end.
Yeah,
not just Quinton and Dukes. Yeah, well, sorry, I thought Duke still was going to go in mediums. He's actually on softs.
Yeah.
Change that, obviously outside the top 10. So yeah, 4 guys on the mediums looking for the long stint. Let's hope it works out for them.
They are hoping for a trip up into corner 1 and they just wave and smile and drive by.
And of course just to drive, keep it clean and put on the soft tires right at the end just to make sure you meet the regulation.
But knowing these drivers, they now seasoned the drivers into their 5th season league racing. They've seen it 55 races now, so they all know you can destroy your chances of a win into the first corner, but you never win a race in the first corner, but you lose it.
Exactly, you can so easily lose it into the first corner. Waiting for the last cars to line up. There we go, got the green flag. Oh, does it look like we got a bit of a flag again? Oh, lights go out. Cars are standing still. There we go, finally underway.
Off we go. Mackett having a brilliant start.
Putting Maurice under pressure. Quinton got past not Kimi, but Quinton's teammate is right there as well. Dickie also want to have a look at it. He fancies chances. Well, they arrived like 3-4 posts, but somehow all of them actually made it through unscattered. And not Kimi is back into third place, and it's pretty much the way they lined up. We got Maurice, Makete, not Kimi. We've got a Young now challenging for fourth.
Looking a bit laggy.
Not giving it up. Like you say, well spotted.
Connor Young ghosting and unghosting,
ghosting and unghosting. But luckily that's behind.
Not sure what's up with his connection.
Oh, Emi Alonso right at the back. Now Emi Alonso the biggest loser at the moment. Young trying to have a look here, not Kimi. Oh, and now it looks like Quinton, bit of a lag. It's just like, it looks like you want to do bumping cars on that McLaren. Of course, Williams and McLaren are in F1 for a number of years. Big rivals to British teams, but oh wow, that's some serious. Connor Young just drove through, not Kimi, not around him, right through him.
Yeah, he's having major lag issues.
Yes.
He's ghosting, unghosting, having his own race, and I can tell you that normally ends in tears for someone, whether it's himself or some other poor driver.
Because one moment you think that car's going to be like drive-through, you're going to push your luck, and then whoop, it's just hitting a brick wall.
Oh, we're looking at a different race here.
Makete and Maurice almost side by side, first corner, but Maurice kept his line.
But crucially, lap 1 completed, 16 drivers, no one into the pits. Brilliant driving by the guys so far. No lap 1 incidents whatsoever.
Now putting not Kimi under pressure.
Let me not jinx everyone, but so far bloody good on all of them.
Top four pretty much still intact. It's still in touch with each other, all within DRS from the confront.
Wow,
wide.
Yeah, make that top 6 all less than a second off.
Yes, so we're all at DRS pretty much on the car in front. Only thing is, for car in front will cancel your DRS. So the only guy here that's under real pressure is Maurice, because he won't have DRS.
Maurice himself, and obviously Noah Ryder doesn't have the pace yet, so he's gonna be slightly left behind.
But he's also got a gap of more than a second, so you don't have the DRS threat either. Yeah, so as much as you don't have it available, you don't need to worry about the car behind, at least for now.
Just gonna mean the top 6 is slightly gonna move off a bit.
Now it goes fastest. Alonso now past Attie, climbing his way back from last position, now back into 12.
Inside line there on Makete. Backs out of it again. Connor Young has now slowly fallen off the pace, 1.1.
Not Kimi sitting on him, and so is Quinton. Just a little bit of a gap between Quinton and Dickie now. But they're still pretty much close to each other.
Yeah,
it's not that anyone's getting away from the other.
So much more occupied keeping Kimi at bay that he's just falling off the pace on the 2 on the front.
Meantime, other Quinton into 10th place on the mediums, actually putting Boinkies under pressure. He is within DRS range.
Yeah, just having a look quickly, he's made up 4 positions already, so...
Yes, and Valandel also with a nice couple of positions, of course, as I say, that Emi Alonso just overtakes him.
Yeah, Quinton and Valandel, both 4 positions up, so perfect for the guys running on the mediums.
Emi Alonso, like I said earlier, was the biggest loser, dropping all the way to the back, but he's already made his way back into 11th, so fighting back and fighting back hard.
Yeah, just looking now, I see Ranger Trevette has gone into the pits. We missed that. So it looks like he had some small incident.
Yeah, because he's now on the softs. Makete did get past Maurice, and he posted the fastest lap. Now it looks like the gap is actually immediately opening up, moving towards the second. Connor Young is out of DRS. Quinton ZA is now ahead of him. Not Kimi, actually behind both of them now. So Quinton managed to pass Kimi and actually past Connor. But Connor's not letting this one go. He's still fighting hard. Oh, and now
another drive
Quentin
through.
just drive through him. It's like Connor's not there.
Yeah, Connor, they driving against a ghost.
Yo.
No one's actually taking any notice of him.
So we can say Connor's just a ghost. No one worries about him tonight.
Connor on 2 wheels, being lifted up. So
ooh, now it looks like some wing. I think what you said earlier
even
about
if there's half contact, it doesn't get registered on the guy that hits him. So,
but it looks like Quentin might have lost the end plate via to the front wing, and now not Kim is coming back at Wehrmacht, and he's fancying his chances. And he's actually past Connor Young now. Now Connor bumping into him. Oh, and Connor now driving into Quentin. Spins around.
Yeah, he
Connor,
touched a few guys there.
Yeah, he touched both of him, and he was just a bit too hasty there, and he's actually coming into the pits now.
Yeah, he came in way too hot into that corner.
Luckily, it didn't end in tears for the other two guys. He himself ended up going to the pits. Now Kimi will have DRS. Can he make a move on Quentin ZA? Quentin ZA sticks to the outside, not Kimi coming into the inside. And he actually does take the inside line, but it doesn't leave Quentin out of it because Quentin's got a much better line, so he's for at the moment back in front.
Looks like Connor Young has given up on his connection. He has left the session. Crucially, didn't trigger a safety car. We've seen instances where a quit will also activate the safety car.
But he was actually, he had the presence of mind to drive into the pits and do it.
Yeah. I think he realized the lag was just too much. He was gonna stuff up someone's race, all the signs was there.
The last thing you want is people giving you a hard time again for messing up their races, and yet it was something out of your control. But sometimes not worth racing if your internet connection is not helping you.
On board here, Dookster now on the back of DKP. He's showing he's got a bit of pace on this track. DKP missing his brake point slightly. Of
course,
almost into the wall.
Dookster started being 11th, so he also made up some good places already.
He's looking in much better shape than DKP. DKP going into the pits. Maybe there was some front wing damage.
And he also picked up a 3-second time penalty.
Can't believe 6 laps done and dusted already. It's really flown past.
Exciting stuff. These guys trading positions, being yes. The time tends to go quicker than what you think. Narrator now actually getting closer and closer to Kimi, so he fancies this a piece of this battle with Kimi and Quentin. Yet the guys in front is not that. They're still in range, of course.
Yeah,
4 seconds. 4 seconds look like a lot of time, but it's
one little mistake.
Exactly. But of course, those two in front keeping each other honest, just like before. These guys should obviously know each other by now because they've battled more than enough times with each other, and of course battling this close, wheel to wheel.
Kimi now hot on the tail of Quentin. I think he's gonna make a move on this long DRS straight.
We'll have DRS here. Kimi taking the inside as Quentin defends on the inside. And Kimi actually keeps along for now and he's into 3rd place. Can he actually chase after his teammate and get away from these two now?
Oh. Quentin spins Kimi out.
Yeah.
Oh. Kimi will be furious. Quentin himself, less a front wing, heads into the pits.
Yeah, and he comes into the pits. He arrived too hard, ran into the back of Kimi, and as a result had to put himself into the pits, and now Kimi also pits.
Yeah, exactly the same corner where Connor Young also came in too hot.
And actually made
difficult
contact with
corner
the two
for
of them.
myself. When I take it, I always give myself an extra 5 meter than where the brake marker says I must brake. It's one of those corners where it just takes longer to get your speed down before you can turn in.
Guys just becoming over eager and then just losing concentration. But it's such a hustle. And now we're robbed of it. But yeah, that's how it goes.
Crucially, Quinton doesn't look like
scored
he...
there, as well as Dukester.
Yeah.
Dukester 9 to 3rd, Narrator on his back end.
Crucially,
And
Quinton doesn't
said,
look like he had to do any front wing repairs because he still came out ahead of Kimi.
Safwan Quinton actually all the way up to 5th now, so that strategy is actually coming into its own now. And he's usually not slow in those mediums, and as I said in the front, Maurice actually got back into the lead. Definitely not over between these two. And ZA Quinton now with a time penalty. How many times have you seen this where the guys go hard with wheel to wheel and then things start going wrong and then all of a sudden you see the penalties and someone falling back? Which is pretty much what I saw Friday night. I mean, you might know the driver I'm referring to. One moment he was like in first place, safety car changed his fortune, and from there it's just went backwards. I mean, it's almost like the guys lose interest. Obviously I can understand you ticked off about it because you're in a good position. But then they give up interest and all of a sudden you just see them dropping that back all the way.
Yeah, look, unfortunately not all drivers are fully in control of their own emotions. That's where people like the Iceman was so brilliant, keeping all of that out of his head, just driving, not thinking about an incident, not becoming furious, making even more mistakes, spinning, crashing out.
And the way he talks to the press as well is all part of that strategy, just to get the press off his back.
Yeah, I think a lot of online racers can learn a lot from Kimi's attitude. Does not help your cause to lose your temper, lose your control. I'm not aware of it helping anyone at any point.
No, true that. Also, big gain. Let's see how far you can stretch those tires. Quinton ZA now making a move on Valandel. Because him and Dickie P fighting back. They were up front, they were the leaders, now they're hovering here at the back. And both Williams now past Valandel.
Yeah, not Kimi not far off.
Now Kimi finding himself on the same type of strategy, if I can, as on Friday, recovery drive. And he did pull it off on Friday, but of course 100% race, you got so many more laps to do it. Yeah, we already on lap 9 out of 27, so I mean less than 20 laps to go, so yeah, it's going to be a tough one for him. He did manage to get past Valandel, so he's chasing after those two Williamses now. But crucially he's on the medium, so he would not need to stop again if all goes well.
Yeah.
On a 3-second time penalty just for good measure.
Yeah. He just took that inside corner slightly too much, gets himself his first time penalty.
And of course that first corner is actually in qualifying where he got his lap actually invalidated as well. Oh, and Dickie P now with another 3-second, and as I said with Maurice also. Yeah, we come. This is now that penalty stage.
I'm not gonna do is run through the penalty count.
No.
Codemasters has made it exceptionally difficult to try and keep track of it all. So we leave it as a little bonus surprise right at the end.
And then we'll know for sure who's your race winner.
Because unfortunately on this track the penalties are just coming thick and fast. Guys not really taking any note of strict corner cutting.
And like Friday with the penalties, trust me, it was a surprise. So that surprise factor will definitely be there.
Yeah, demoted a race winner down to 4th position, so...
People who wasn't even in the race, you wouldn't even think they would be on podium, actually took the podium spot. But yeah, it's always nice to see these guys, and of course a couple of penalties just to keep it as close as is.
Vino heading into the pits, fitting those mediums. He's done his mandatory pit stop.
Keep it all together, he's done, you don't need to stop again. Only 17 laps to go after this. So definitely those mediums can do that. Quinton's actually, Safwan Quinton, now third place. Because he started with those mediums, so again, it's looking better and better for him.
Yeah.
Because the two cars behind him is on softs and they will have to stop sometime soon. But now the downside, as soon as they stop, that actually promotes Mackett back into 5th place, right behind him. And of course, behind Mackett is Marie, the two fast guys behind him. And the funny and the best thing already for them is they stopped already. They've got the tyre regulation sorted. Of course, Quinton still need to stop. Looking really good for Mackett
into the pits.
And of course Maurice. Yeah, Duke's going to change tyres, you're right. He goes onto the medium, so that's him sorted as well. Southone Quinton promoted to 2nd place for now. Wanky's into 3rd, he's still out there on his softs. Mackett back into 4th. Maurice into 5th, battling there with Staffy. Of course, Staffy would just like to keep Maurice up. That's obviously his teammate Mackett.
As we speak, not Kimi passing Quinton. Quinton had some incident there on the last corner. Had a little spin. Lost all momentum going into the home straight. That let not Kimi go past.
And not Kimi, of course, trying to chase down Dickie P. Maurice now coming up to almost looks like a slow going Toro Rosso, but it's not. He's actually right on the back of Boinkies. Because those soft tyres already 10 laps, so surely there's not much left in it. So this is going to be a walk in the park for Mackett, having DRS as well. Yep, and there we go, past Boinkies. So Mackett into 3rd, chasing now after Quinton, Safwan Quinton. But Boinkies will be under pressure from Maurice as well.
5 seconds, speeding in the pit lane.
And here we go, Maurice giving Boinkies come in, so that releases Maurice. Maurice will be happy about that, it will allow Mackett not to get too far ahead of him. Staffy staying out, he's going to do another lap, 11 laps now done on those softs. Noah Rading coming out of the pits now. Around comes Dukester, and Dukester have beaten him, well done by Ferrari. Managed to keep Dukester ahead of Noah Raider.
What that does is promote Kimi into 8th position.
And getting closer and closer to Dickie P.
Imi Alonso, Snuffleizer trading positions.
Imi Alonso on media, on hards, oh wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the right tyre choice, but
4
he
laps.
might prove me wrong.
Because he might have stopped a bit early. But some of the guys, I mean, 11 laps on the softs. Not sure why he stopped so early, and then because if he stopped a lap or two later, mediums would have been my best choice, because if you look at the grid, most of the guys are on mediums.
Noah Ryder hot on the tails of Dukester.
We know now past Valando. Valando dropping back.
I suspect there's a DRS move coming in the home straight here on Dukester. And someone's heading into the pits. Let's just see who's that. Staffy.
Staffy, yeah, he's done with his softs. So he can
Back to the
put
action.
on mediums.
Noah Ryder. Noah Ryder.
Yeah, right to the back of that Ferrari. Dukester diving onto the inside, defending on the inside. Noah Ryder is now actually past him. Yeah, here we go. DRS has done the job. But of course now next time round the DRS falls back into Dukester's favour.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back in the ranch, not Kimi flying past Dickie P. Dickie P made a mistake on the outside.
Yes, and not Kimi finding himself now in 6th place.
Dickie P outbraking himself, taking way too much corner
and now
there.
Running a bit wide as well, which will just allow a little bit more time for not Kimi.
That's now the moment where you as a driver think about that mistake you made and then you make another mistake.
That's it.
Because you're not 100% zoned in.
Here we go, Dukester returning a favour in the next DRS zone. Didn't even wait for the next lap, it was same lap, just a different area. So Dukester back in front of Noah for now. This will mean Noah Raider will get the DRS again. So it's going to be a DRS ping pong between these two by the looks of it. Ranger Trivet, the only guy still on soft. 10 laps already done on the... Ooh, yellow flag.
Sector 3. Looks like Trivet.
Yeah,
oh, Dickie P, another 5 seconds.
Yep, Ranger Trivet's got wing damage. And that's actually heavy wing damage, so he's going to dive into the pits. Oh, and we'll land on our 3 seconds added to his penalty count.
Guys are really becoming collectors. Titanic Battalion, Noah Raider, Dukester, little bit of contact, Noah Raider ever so slightly.
Oh, there we go, Noah Raider just caught the back end of it, Noah Raider actually spun there.
He just ever so slightly touched Dukester, but that meant...
And this brings not Kimi much closer to him now.
Lost completely all traction. Feature of the game that I'm not too fond of, any contact resulting in tears, 9.5 out of 10 times.
And I mean, you get of a race, those tears being it you or the person next to you, so yeah. It's always that, I mean, it's always a strong possibility. Whenever there's contact, something like that's going to happen. Looks like Noah Raider is coming to the pits for a moment. Oh, 3-second time penalty for his efforts. Because
yeah,
it looks
came
like
hot into that pit
yes,
lane.
And he actually went over the line, almost like he changed his mind and he's going to race further just to cut back. And that's what he got for penalty.
Yeah, that mistake, that killed his chances of any podium ideas.
Mackett now only 3 seconds behind Quinton. Maurice outside there is to Mackett, so looking good for Mackett.
Yeah,
he first need to catch
much
and
fresher
pass
tires,
Quinton.
And Quinton obviously still needs to pit as well.
That's it.
Maurice still hanging on to the back of Mac at 1.3 seconds the gap now. And also 1 lap younger mediums.
Quinton Zeta are racking up those penalties now.
Yeah, I've heard that he's not too much a big fan of this track. Apparently it kills his soul off or makes his toenails grow in, or I'm not too sure, but the track that apparently doesn't like was what, 3rd fastest
at one stage, correct.
Just looks like he's not enjoying this race at all. He's hot on the tail of DKP, so maybe an overtake or two will get the blood boiling again for him, make him feel the rhythm.
Looking here at the midfield, nice battle shaping up here. Sniffleizer chasing Staffy. That's for one true battle of the moment. Of course, Quinton keep further down. That's for guys that's closest and actually with DRS from a car in front.
Sniffleizer much more in Staffy's league. I think he's gonna relish this battle. They're not gonna give way to each other. There's no obvious faster driver here.
Kelly Quinton will have DRS now to try to make a move on Dicky.
Yeah, I think he's just slightly too far off. He's just gonna pull him right
He went a little
beside him.
bit too wide into that final corner, that first only corner, slight corner in the DRS zone. He just went, which would have put him further back. Noiraider now with a bit of a recovery drive on the new softs. Of course, as you can see, it's already a first sector in purple, but that's new rubber. And of course, the handle in front of him is on 15 lap old mediums, so it's just going to be a walk in the park for Noiraider here, and he's going to have DRS for good measure. And he's past the handle.
Eventually, Saf1 Quinton heads into the pits, slaps on those softs. Let's see where he comes out. Is he gonna come out in front of Emi Alonso?
Yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
By a decent distance as well. So he really made up good places.
And is now on a nice set of tires here. I think not Kimi's gonna have his hands full defending from Quinton when those soft starts to really fly. Lap 18 to 24. Kimi's gonna have his hands full. That 3.5 second gap is gonna come down massively.
Of course, next week see us heading to Silverstone. Of course, Silverstone, everybody always talks about Meckett and Beckett. Now, who wants Meckett and Beckett if you can have Maurice and Meckett?
Yeah, some of the guys has been with this league since season 1, become a staple. They all got their own following, shouting, looking out for them, believing they can do it.
Kimi actually all the way up to 4th, but he will be under pressure from Quinton. Of course, Quinton just need to use those soft tires because they're only going to last that long. Then it's a matter of just seeing them through to the end. So if Kimi can just see that part off, then he'll be fine. Of course, just another 9 laps to go after this one.
Yeah, looking realistically at it, I don't think Kimi's got any more positions to make up here. It's now just hoping, keeping it clean, hoping some penalties go his way, promoting him to a podium, and keeping Quinton at bay.
But yeah, we'll have to wait for that penalty count to come in. But I think the leaders might be sorted. But again, some of them actually had penalties more than once. So we'll have to wait till the right at the end after we get the confirmation. Maurice is trying to get back into DRS range away from Meckett. Not easy. Sniffleizer with 3-second time penalty. And he has stopped. He's actually a couple of places back. I mean, it would have been nice to see him and Staffy go at each other for a couple of laps more. Duke's getting away from not Kimi, and not Kimi actually being chased down by Quinton. Quinton is now within DRS range. And Alonso, of course, on those harder tyres in 6th place. At the back, it's still Quinton and DKP, Quinton Zeta and DKP having a go. Quinton just not being able to get past DKP, although he's been in DRS range for quite a while. And of course now in the front you have other Quinton in DRS range for not Kimi. Again, Quinton Zeta just a little bit too far behind to try to make a move on Diggy. Break it back to the front. Back straight, DRS wide open, Quinton on the soft tyres. Inside line.
Can confirm Quinton sitting without any penalty so far. Let's have one, Quinton. Sitting on 2 warnings, so one more corner cut and he's also part of the club.
That's it.
Casted my eye through the field. Kimi sitting on 3 seconds, Dookster 3 seconds, Maurice on 6. Mackett on 3. So in essence, Dookster only 3.8 behind Maurice.
Here we go.
And Quinton actually
look on the
ahead.
inside. On the outside, I mean, not Kim on the inside. And Quinton does take him, but not Kimi actually tried to get back at him. A bit of contact there. Luckily, it looks like the wing is still intact, but Quinton is definitely in front. So Quinton's got
tire up.
Now Radio gets past Staffy. Ooh, DTP with another penalty there.
Yeah, look, he's got plenty between himself and Quinton Zeta.
Hey, Williams tonight. The penalties were the best thing tonight, and because both of them actually racked up a few.
Sir Frank's not gonna be happy at all with his 2 drivers, having no regard for any track limits.
Sir Frankie, of course, nice guy. I think he's more clear that we have to worry about. No, the old saying about hell's got no fury like a woman scorned. She'll definitely be scorned after this.
Yeah. They're both basically killing any chances of points.
And they both were up front, right there in the top 5 at the start of the race.
Yeah, they clearly got the pace. They got everything. Just doesn't have I don't know. Continuously being penalized.
Duke's still running solid in third, and actually he's got a good gap to the car behind, so that, unless something really goes wrong, but of course we don't want to do the commentator curse thing. But
as we speak, Noah Ryder puts on the fastest lap, so that's an extra point for him.
And he's been on the move for the last lap or so, so he's definitely...
And I can confirm Quinton Zeta has had enough. He's got a big DNF.
Oh boy.
His hate relationship with this track is concluded for this season.
It's just yellow flag and not safety car so far. It looks like no safety car, just yellow.
Yeah.
Not even VSC.
Car.
See if we can get, the Landel just going past now. Here comes the race leaders actually. To that sector we lost, there we go, for a slow going Williams. And Maurice right on the back of Mackett now.
What does that mean, slow going, but is a DNF? Is that a rage quit? Why would the vehicle still continue if it's actually being...
Exactly, it's something I saw on Friday night, exactly on the same track. A car says, the guy says DNF, but the car moves a little bit further before it finally comes to a stop, because if it's a rage quit, it will be AI taking control of the car, and that car will continue to proceed, of course at AI speed. So that's definitely him retiring, but just one of those glitches where the car for some reason keeps moving instead of immediately coming to a halt.
And as we drift away, Maurice is seriously now close to Mac at 0.4.
But for a moment it looked like his back end wanted to come out.
Yeah.
But luckily he didn't. He's still within DRS range.
Just as
And
the
it is
spotlight
open.
came on him. He's got one lap fresher mediums.
Here you go, Quinton Zeta has left the session. As Maurice getting closer and closer. On Staffy now left the session, that's a bit unusual.
Yeah, look, I think that's a simple disconnection.
That's it, but that's why I say it's unusual, because he's not known for someone to actually disconnect.
He's got a solid MWeb connection going. Nothing wrong with that. Maurice now hot
Maurice
on the tail.
looking,
This is
looking
gonna
on the inside. This is going to be on the outside. What's Macca going to do?
Macca tried to close the door and Maurice wanted none of it.
The brake harder. These guys are not going to back off for each other. Definitely not.
Reminds me a little bit of Maurice versus Connor Young in China. Not giving each other any more space than the absolute minimum.
Need to. That's it. Only the required space. That's it. If you want any more, sorry, go look elsewhere. And you know what's a weird thing? I just noticed they both run the same race number, which is actually your old number.
I can also confirm, I see Saf1 Quinton has now eventually received his third and final warning and gets himself 3 seconds. So that buffer he had on Kimi is gone. They're both now on 3 seconds.
So you must just be careful here now, because at 8 seconds, because Kimi is not able to hold on, so he's falling away. But of course, an extra penalty or two and all of that's gone. 3 laps to go.
Yeah, Mackett activates DRS. He's still in the range, holding on to Maurice.
Well, of course, I'm just coming around towards up to the back marker, of course.
I think that's a ghost. Is it a ghost or not? That back marker?
No.
Can't clearly see.
It's a Toro Rosso, so
that's
Valandel. He's definitely still there.
But obviously, because we
ghosting
got ghosting
because of these
enabled.
two. Yeah, ghosting is enabled, so these guys will just be able to drive through him. But it's ghosting only because he's being lapped, and that's a setting. It's not like what we saw at the start of a race with Connor Young.
Yeah, no, Connor Young's one was a dodgy connection at best. Luckily, it didn't cost anyone. Yeah, he has lost one position to DKP. I know he was in P10 when he lost connection. That's a pity. Out of the points. Imi Alonso gets another 3-second time penalty.
Because Staffy, you didn't see much among the penalties either, so Staffy can actually still beat, because DKP has got a couple of penalties more.
DKP is big time on the penalties. Let me try and get you some penalty. That's 3, 6, 9. 5 is 14, 3 is 17.
And if he didn't stop at 5, he'll still sit there, because you can maybe sort out that 5 by stopping again, serve a penalty. And I think Staffy might only have like 1 or so.
Yeah, that by the looks of it, he's sitting on 20 seconds. He received the 5 second on lap 13, which should be entering the pits too fast. There was no safety car issue, so that one I don't see that you. I don't think you serve it at your pit stop, or do you?
It would be the next pit stop. So if he stopped again, then he could have served.
Yeah, so that's 20 seconds for DKP.
And
looking at Staffy sitting on 2 warnings only.
So Staffy can actually get back into 10th place
very easily. There's 20 seconds, and he's only 8 seconds off. So.
Correct. So you must just keep it clean and make sure he stays where he is now. Don't let Dicky run away with him, Because of course
No, and Dickie pits as well, so that's
so
that
Staffy can
whole
actually.
thing.
So Dickie might serve 5 now. Let's just have a look here, because obviously the 5-second one you can serve at your next stop.
Yeah, if Codemasters is through to the game, let's see.
Yeah, they are
That's
stationary.
it. Service
That's it.
5, so.
But again, that
Dickie
will actually
slaps
allow
on.
Staffy back into 10th anyway, so without penalties. But that's as far as Staffy's going to go, because obviously Boinkies is renowned for someone.
Clean as a whistle.
Exactly, he hardly picks up penalties.
Yeah, unbelievably, Boinkies is sitting on a solitary warning only.
Just one.
One warning and Staffy on 2 warnings.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, because everyone else's names you saw popped up. And maybe,
Yeah.
of course, just in front Quinton. South one Quinton, that is.
Looks like they make the coastal drivers much more law-abiding citizens than the rest in the SA scene.
The guys here on the Highland, it's like we're on the road in real life. Ooh, somebody hit something there. Yeah, and Maurice is without an end plate.
Uh-oh.
Left end plate is missing. So that will actually encourage Mackett.
Well, Maurice is going to be a sitting duck here with a lap and a half
DRS
to go.
coming up.
Was that
DRS
a driver error on Maurice's part?
DRS wide open, and Mackett actually is coming. And Mackett's going to take it. Or is he? Is Maurice going to knock off? Oh no, we're going to actually go into that corner side by side, and Mackett now with a 3-second time penalty as a result. Of course, it's not exactly all of that. That would have been just his third warning, which ended up in the third. Dickie P again, a penalty.
Yeah, I put my money on Dickie P for the most of the night.
Maurice is
Mackett
not
sets
able
off
to hold
in
on
the
now.
distance.
Last lap, so it's going to be easy. Maurice not in DRS. It's going to come down to
He's
penalties.
going to be, yeah, he's going to be furious with himself. If I recall it, wasn't it last weekend before, that he also chucked it away? Basically, it was in Mexico. I think in the last lap, got himself a penalty which demoted him. So such a pity. You keep it together 26 laps.
And right at the end, you chuck it away.
You already can taste that champagne, and then someone rips it out of your hands.
And that same place where Maurice damaged his wing with previous lap, he actually almost collected the barrier. Just came so close that the line he takes.
Oh, and Kimi overtaken by Vino. Not sure what was up there.
Vino's,
Side
and it's
by
only
side.
3. There's only 3 laps between them tires.
Kimi almost loses his wheel. Tried one last time to get back at Vino, that promoted Kimi. Now Kimi, he's gonna try and nurse this racing point. Noah Ryder is on his back. He's gonna be in no shape to keep Noah Ryder back here.
Here we go. Race leaders is coming around the final corners. Mackett will take the checkered flag, but will he stay in front? And the answer is yes, and as he comes around, oh, and these two actually crash into each other right at the end. And Dukster's the big winner. Dukester gets second place. Because Mackett actually spun into the inside. Looks like he wanted to take the pit wall to as he crossed the line. Made contact, and actually his car went to the side, wheel missing. And Maurice's car drove into him, losing his front wing, and now there's actually a McLaren as well. Quinton also joining the pile up there.
Imi Alonso promoted to 5th, ahead of Vino. Oh, it's carnage here on the...
Yeah, and everybody just drives in here.
Ay.
That's AI for you.
This is a train wreck on this home straight.
Hey, this is AI. It only see one way. Luckily, it's after the start-finish line.
Exactly. Staff is in for a big surprise coming around this last corner.
Let's see what this Renault does. Of course, as soon as he crosses the start-finish line, AI takes over. There we go. You can say, what the hell? Oh, there goes for Renault.
Oh, he loses a wheel just for his efforts.
And he pushed Norrider deeper in, but AI didn't want to get away. And there's a Ferrari on the side. But yeah, that's all AI. It's luckily not naive of him. Ooh, here we have a ghost. And that concludes that.
Yeah, a race full of dramas, few driver errors, Maurice. Kimi's race actually got, I wouldn't say destroyed, but any hopes of a podium cancelled. Who was the victim that tapped him out? Was it DKP?
No, it was actually DKP's teammate Quinton. Quinton Zete that actually bumped him.
Zete.
And then, of course, nice recovery drive, but right there at the end, obviously, that spun there.
Yeah, we missed the actual overtake Vino on him, and he tried to get back. The slightest of contact, as mentioned before, puts you in a perma-spin into the wall.
Just confirmation how we finished. Macca takes the top honours, Dukes the second, Maurice third. Rest of the finishing positions, fourth Quinton, followed by Emi Alonso, Vino 6, followed by Norrider, not Kimi. Boink is 9th, and Staffy taking the last points paying position there. And that's pretty much it for Russia. Of course, next week, same time, same place, but next week will be, of course, Silverstone. Round 6 already. Wow, I must say, this season is actually going fast. As you said earlier, these races are going fast. It's just a lot of action. Can't believe it, we're already heading towards race 6.
Yeah, and I can confirm, DKP, 24 seconds.
Yes, I just confirmed what you said. And of course, Boinkies and Staffy, the only two guys without penalties.
Clean as a whistle.
Yeah, some people actually live up to expectation. Any last words here from your side?
No, just looking forward to the next race. I can tell you, Mackett has now consolidated his position there at the top, and he's gonna really have to make big mistakes for anyone else to even have a chance of catching him. He's just racking them in race after race.
Of course, Maurice have a pace, and after last week and this week, Maurice obviously will have confidence now he can take him. So surely these two will be able to go bumper to bumper again, wheel to wheel.
Yeah, Maurice just needs to concentrate for the full distance and not have that last lap or second last lap lapse. It's costed him twice now, and that's just a small little adjustment he has to work on.
Definitely,
race until the finish line. Anyways, thanks Ice, always a pleasure. I hope to see everyone next week.
Next week then, yes. And guys, thank you so much for watching, thanks for the support. We'll catch you next week, same time, same place. Till then, stay safe, take care.
Till
next time. Cheerio.